All right, so we're diving into something pretty huge in the boxing world today, folks. We're talking Dmitry Bivol. You know, the guy who upset Canelo Alvarez, handed him that second loss.
Yeah, that was a statement fight for sure. I think a lot of people after that sat up and really took notice of Bivol.
Totally. So for those of us who maybe haven't followed his entire career, can you, set the stage? Who eyes Dmitry Bivol?
So Bivol, he came up through the amateur ranks. I mean, this is a guy who was winning everything.
Mm-hmm.
National titles, international titles. And that foundation, it's really translated into his pro career.
Here's a world champ.
Multiple defenses. But you're right, it was the Canelo fight. Beating a guy who was considered pound for pound, one of the best in the world. That's what really changed things.
Right, because that wasn't just like any other win, that was a huge deal. But I'm curious, for folks like me who maybe don't fully grasp boxing rankings and all that, why was it such a big deal?
Think about it this way. Canelo was expected to walk through Bivol. I mean, he was the favorite by a lot. And Bivol, he just dismantled that.
And how did he do that? What makes Bivol so effective?
Well, for one, the guy's boxing IQ is off the charts. He's got this incredible sense of distance, timing, ring generalship.
Ring generalship.
It's about controlling the fight, dictating the pace. And Bivol does that. But on top of that, he's got the skills to back it up.
I mean, we saw that in the Canelo fight, right? But there's another fight coming up that has everyone talking.
Bivol versus Beterbiev. Yeah, it's the biggest fight that can be made in boxing right now. Two undefeated champions at the top of their game.
So stylistically, how do they match up? Because Bivol is all about that technical, precision, right?
Yeah, he picks his shots, controls the distance. Beterbiev, on the other hand, he's a power puncher. Every single win he has is by knockout.
Wow, talk about pressure. I mean, you know it's coming, right? Every punch could be a knockout blow.
And he's got the chin to take a punch, too. So it's a fascinating clash of styles. I mean, who do you favor in this fight?
Honestly, that's the million-dollar question. I mean, you've got Bivol, who's so smart in the ring, then Beterbiev with that knockout power. It's hard to bet against either of them. But, it's not just the fighters anymore, is it? It's all this other stuff, like the whole Saudi Arabia thing with these big fights going over there.
Yeah, the landscape of boxing is changing. And for these guys at the top, like Bivol, it creates a whole new set of opportunities. Bigger purses, global exposure.
But does it compromise the sport in any way?
It's a conversation that's happening, for sure. Bivol himself has even talked about it, finding that balance between these huge paydays and maintaining the integrity of boxing. It's tricky.
Yeah. Speaking of legacy, I'm curious, where does a win against a guy like Beterbiev put Bivol in the grand scheme of boxing history? I mean, we're talking about legendary status.
Absolutely. Beating Beterbiev, he's right up there with the all-time greats of the light heavyweight division. We're talking like Joe Calzaghe, who retired undefeated as a super middleweight. And you know what's interesting? You look at someone like Errol Spence Jr., incredibly talented, but has had some setbacks, right? Bivol's been so consistent, managing his body, his health, the mental aspect of it all.
Especially in the light heavyweight division, it takes a toll on you.
Exactly, which is why it's so impressive. Because not only is he winning, he's doing it against the very best. And, let's be honest, the pressure that comes with that.
Especially with this upcoming fight. How do you even mentally prepare for something like this?
Well, Bivol has talked about visualization techniques, meditation, ways to kind of quiet the noise. And honestly, that's something he's probably had to do throughout his career. Because, let's be real, before the Canelo fight, he wasn't getting the same level of attention.
So you think that underdog mentality, has that actually been a strength for him?
I think so. There's something to be said for having that chip on your shoulder, that drive to prove yourself. And, when you look at Bivol's style, he doesn't have any glaring weaknesses. He's not just a power puncher or a speed demon. He's a combination of it all.
A true boxing enigma. So, before we wrap up, I have to ask about other potential matchups. What about someone like David Benavidez? He's a big, strong guy, known for his power. Could Bivol handle that kind of pressure?
That's a great question. I mean, Bivol's style is all about distance control, right? Benavidez is going to try to cut off the ring, make it a brawl.
It would be fascinating to watch.
Absolutely. And that's what makes Bivol so intriguing. No matter who he's in the ring with, he finds a way.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into Dmitry Bivol. Make sure to catch the Beterbiev fight. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until next time.